This is Andy Purrow for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by a hungry Dave Calder here in Sheffield. Dave, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks. I'm a lot better since I've got a little piece of Galaxy stuck in the roof of my mouth where the taste is just dropping. Galaxy, can't beat it.
No other YouTube channel looks after you the way that we do, Dave.
No, definitely not. Get looked after big time.
Andy from IFL trying to wave, but he's hard at work there. But Dave, obviously we're here in Sheffield, close to where you're from. Talk to me about your venture up today. Obviously we've got the Brook fight, etc. on Saturday, but how come you've decided to venture up?
Because the kid that I managed, Callum Beardo, he's on the bill as well. So he was on the top table, getting a bit of experience there. Sold a lot of tickets. I think he sold over 300 tickets. So he's done well. He's an exciting fighter as well. We call him the Vanilla Gorilla. You'll see why on Saturday.
You keep mentioning food, Dave. I feel like it's just on your mind now.
I'm starving, man. I'm so hungry. It's unreal. I've trained Jordan this morning, and then come straight here. And it's 3 o'clock. I need some food, man.
I promise I'll try not to do our usual in-depth, but you just mentioned Jordan there, and I've just interviewed him. I know you spoke to Rob when he came up to the gym about Jordan's thyroid issues and how you guys had to balance it. Jordan saying he's back in gym now, getting more and more full-time. How have you found, though, trying to juggle Jordan's condition and the amount of work he's allowed to do?
Well, I'd rather do less than more. He's been wanting to go full throttle. He's been wanting to do a bit more. It feels great, but what I don't want to do is where he's feeling great, so you give him more to do, and then 3 weeks down the line he breaks down. I don't want that. So I'd rather. Do you know what we've done? We've built a really good foundation. He is fit. He is so far in front of what I thought it would be. It's like he's not been away. In fact, I feel like I've got the old Jordan back from Dominguez. Things that he's doing, things that we're doing on the pads, his movement, his sharpness, everything. It's just that he's heavy, and obviously with the condition that he's had, that's down to that. And we're going to just gradually take the weight down. I mean, his fight back. We're looking at the end of March for his first fight back, and he'll probably weigh about 9'6", 9'7". I'm not. It doesn't mean he's moved up. It just means that I'm taking a long time for him for the weight to come down. I'm not interested in crashing weight off or asking too many questions of his body. Let's do it right, and then we get the right results.
What's it been like trying to manage him? Because I know Jordan, he's someone who just wants to be in the gym non-stop. He'll fight on a Saturday, he wants to be in on a Monday. How's it been like trying to manage that kind of expectation he has of himself to be in the gym non-stop?
It's hurt him. It's hurt us all, to be honest, because when he's not in the gym, I miss him in the gym as well. You know, he's a big character, and I spend a lot of time with him. We're very close. But to know what he was going through wasn't nice, because there's nobody that wants it more than what this kid does. And he's been through a lot in his career already, so it was hard. And there was times when I'll be honest with you, I didn't think he would box again. Never said it out loud. But when I'm at home with my wife, and even the kids love Jordan to bits, and they're asking how he is and stuff like that. I even said to my wife, I don't know if he's going to be able to box again. I just want to get to it. Every time he goes for a test, you're praying that it comes back all right. You're praying that it's that it's going to be fully recovered. And originally, what they thought it was going to be, and what they thought it was originally, as soon as they first told us, I thought, shit, this is like serious. And then thankfully things seem to be going in the right direction. Getting regular blood tests, tested all the time. We're grateful that we work with Scott Robinson, who's by far a genius when it comes down to nutrition, comes down to how your body works. In the lab down there, it's been a godsend. So yeah, he's on the right track, and so we're happy. And it's a long, slow process, but he has to be patient about it, and that'll bring him the results. Being patient.
What's it been like for you in camp now with regards to the wider scheme of things? I know you manage a lot of fighters, but you only actually train a few now. How much different has it been? A matter of a year and a half ago, you had Bellew in there, you had Anthony Fowler, the McDonald brothers, and now it's just down to a few of you. How have you found the change in the Coldwell gym?
Do you know what? When I first came, because obviously I used to train fighters, I used to have about 12 fighters in my gym. Then I walked away from coaching fighters when Ryan Rose retired. Then I came back for Bellew, so I only trained Bellew, that's it, for a couple of years, just trained Bellew, and then accidentally ended up training the McDonald twins because Jamie needed me out in Texas. So then them two came on board, and then it kind of like just 5 is the max that I've always said I would have. 5 is the max, because I like the way that I coach. I like to spend time with them. Boxing is not just about pad work, bag work, and crash bang wallop and busy bodies. There's a lot of talking, discussion, teaching. That's how I coach. So for my time and my energy, the way that I coach fighters, I can't have a full gym, because if I've got a full gym, I'm not doing what I need to be doing with you. I don't want to be looking at a clock and he's coming in now, and then he's in at the same. I've got to be watching him at the same time. I don't do it like that. So 5 is always going to be the maximum. I've now got 2.5, because Jamie McDonald's not in the gym at the moment. He's kind of like ticking over at Steffi's, because he lives in Doncaster, but he's got a lot of stuff that he's sorting out himself, and he's been out for over a year now. He knows he's got to get back, and he's got to get back on it, but he's life happens and things get in the way of what we want to do. So when Jamie's ready to go and is in a position to go, and have a fight, then he'll be back, and then I'll have 3. But Hobie Price, Jordan Gill, they're the 2 that I'm working with at the moment. It's great, We're off to Dubai next week to have a bit of warm weather training, and that's when we come back. Then Jordan will kick on with his training big time. I'm open to, if it's the right fighter, right character. I'm getting offers quite a bit, but I've kind of got to be excited. I've got to be excited, and because of the way that I do coach, I put everything into it. And for me to be spending time in the gym with a fighter means that I'm taking it away from spending time with my family, doing what I can be doing with them. So it's got to be the right fit. There's fighters that'll be out there that I would be interested in, but we'll see what happens.
Away from the Coldwell gym and yourself, and onto the reason we're here in Sheffield, Brook De Luca. No, that's fine, carry on. Obviously, Kell Brook's first fight in 14 months. Do you expect we will see the ring rust? Do you expect we won't see the best version of Kell Brook now?
Well, I don't believe you'll see the best version of Kell Brook. I think that's highly impossible, because he's had so long out. The previous fight, he didn't look very good, and he had so long out before that. He's older now. There's more time elapsed from being active. So I don't think you'll see the best of him, but is it a good exercise in ring rust shedding, getting his timing back, getting back out there in front of the lights, in front of the TV cameras, and for him his own mentality? Yeah, it's a good exercise. The opponent, I think, is a fighter that he can look good against, or he should look good against. If he's got anything left, he should look good against this guy. He's tough, he's game, he'll throw hands. You don't want some guy that's not going to throw no punches, because you can't look good against them. And especially if you're a little bit, ring rusty, it's not going to do anything for you. De Luca, I think, I'll give it a go, because that's what he is, tough. I think his feet are a little bit slow. And also, I watched him in a fight where he boxed a southpaw, and he struggled like mad to avoid the southpaw jab. So I've got a feeling that because Kell can switch, I think he'll go southpaw.
It's interesting you say that, because of a workout yesterday, Kell did it in southpaw stance.
Really? Yeah. Well, I texted Eddie at the beginning of the week when I'd watched this kid against the southpaw. I did text Eddie saying, I've got a feeling Kell, it won't surprise me if Kell comes out southpaw this fight, because this kid cannot avoid a southpaw jab. So there you go, maybe.
Genius there, Dave, before I even told you. obviously, before I move on to Kid Galahad, sorry, there's a lot of talk about Cal's future. Will he stick to chasing world titles? Does he want that calm fight? For you, would you like to see him chase for 154 titles? Nobody's really put a stamp on that division at the minute.
Do you know what? You can't chase Khan anymore. Khan chased Mayweather and ruined his career. Do you know what I mean? It can like ruin his career. Chase Mayweather, chasing Pacquiao. Tell her what's in front of you, what you can go and get them. Then they're going to come to you, right? Kell wins a world title, then no doubt Khan fight happens. But by just chasing Khan, I don't think it's going to happen. Focus on what's in front of you. It's going to be tough enough trying to win a world title now. I think 154 is the division. I think the perfect opportunity has come now because recently, obviously, Rosario. I'm not being funny. I looked at that fight. I watched Rosario. I thought straight away, if Kell Brook's ever going to win a world title again, that is a man. Yeah. That is a man to go for and give it a go and see what you've got left, see what's there. Before that, he needs a test. I would love to see him and Liam Smith. I think that fight, and then the winner fights Rosario or fights for a world title, I think that's the banker. That's the one. Come on, Eddie, make that fight. You know that we're not going to see the calm fight that we all want to see for Britain. Liam Smith and Kell's the next best thing for British boxing. You know, that would be a good fight. Liam's a good fighter, a very good fighter. It's a clash of styles. I think that's the fight right now.
That's something that's completely slipped my mind because I saw Liam's article with Sky earlier in the week where he said he doesn't feel like Cal's made the most of his career and he'd love to face Cal now if the opportunity came and presented itself. And I remember at the time when there was talk about Cal stepping up, Liam and Cal distanced themselves a little bit from that fight because they wanted to go down other avenues. If that fight was to be made, how would you see it playing out?
I don't know. Right now I don't know because I don't know what Cal's got left. And we know that in the past, when somebody's made Kell work but took and fired back, you know, like Carson Jones, even Zafira recently, after a few rounds it gets a little bit, oh shit, this is a tough fight. Liam Smith's the type of guy that isn't going to keel over after a couple of rounds. That's an interesting fight. I genuinely don't know which way that I want to go because right now you can't rate somebody's chances based on what they were years ago. You kind of have to go on what the recent form is. But the problem is Kell's recent form. You have to think of when was the last time he looked good. How long ago it is? Is it? It's not just a case of it's only a couple of fights ago. How long ago was that? What's happened in between that? It's difficult. Do you know what I mean? So, without being negative, I want to see what Kell turns up with on Saturday. I think his mentality and how he's speaking and the excitement he's got for boxing again is wicked. That's what I want to see. And if he trained to the max and if he's lived right and he's done everything right, then you've got whatever's left in Kell Brook, he will be able to pull out and he will be able to show. Now, at this stage of somebody's career, you just don't know. You don't know what's left.
Obviously, just to move away from Cal Brook and on to Kid Galahad, he faces Claudio Marrero in a final eliminator for the IBF title. What are your thoughts on that one, Dave?
It's a good fight. It is a good fight. I watched Romero. It's a good fight. He can bang. I put something on my Instagram. I saw a knockout of his. The kid got up, dropped, and got up and literally fell all the way across the ring. He can punch. He can box. He's a little bit slick, but I think he likes it his own way. And the thing about Barry is that Barry's deceptively strong. He knows the old tricks: pulling of the arms, forearm in the face, glove in the face, open glove, and he can unsettle you. And he's physically strong. It seems to go at one pace all the time, but that pace catches up. And he has an effect on fighters. It's one of those guys that, although he doesn't punch particularly hard, the fighters, his opponents, feel the strength. And I don't know if this guy's got that in his locker to be able to cope with Barry's strength as the rounds go on. So I would favour for Kid Galahad.
Last thing on this card, I just wanted to get your thoughts on Dave Allen. He returns I did an interview with him yesterday, and he said that between 40 minutes to 2 hours after the David Price fight, I think he was on his way in the ambulance from there on afterwards, he was paralysed. When you hear that, what's your thoughts with regards to his future and his decision to continue boxing?
Each to his own. I'm nobody to tell Dave Allen what to do with his life. It's his life and what makes him happy. The main thing is obviously he's talked about his problems before in his own self. He has to do what makes him happy. It doesn't make any difference what I think. What I will say is that's concerning if that's happened to him. But what I do know is it's the barrage of tests that he's had to do. He's had to do a lot of tests, spinal scans, all sorts of stuff, not just normal medicals that we have to do as fighters anyway, but he's had to go extra and do a lot more. So there is nothing there that's showing that there's anything lasting from the last fight. So there's nothing there. So according to all the tests and examinations, he's fit to fight. From a personal point of view, that is your choice. When something scary like that happens, that is your choice then, whether you're willing to go back into that ring and you're willing to put yourself back into that position again. Some people, some fighters, when they've never experienced before and it happens the first time, when they get knocked out, they're never the same. They don't want to go in that ring again. And it affects them in that way. Other fighters get knocked out, carry on, get knocked out, carry on. It makes no difference. Same thing goes for this with Dave. He felt paralysed and this and that other that's happened to him. That's scary shit. But if his mentality and his fortitude is that it's not scared, mate, carry on. It's like you have a car accident, you have bad injuries in a car accident, go through your rehab, blah blah blah, this, become alright again. Do you have that choice then to get back in a car and drive in a car again? Some people will be scared and not want to do that again because I had injuries last time, I'm not doing that. Others will just get back in and just get in the car again. And Dave Allen's chose to carry on boxing. As long as he comes out healthy and happy, that's all that matters.
Final couple of things before I do let you go. Someone who I know you guys built a good relationship with when he was fighting on the same Peterborough show as Jordan Gill, Anthony Sims Jr. He was fell short last week against Angulo. Yeah. Have you had a chance to watch?
I have watched it. I watched it because obviously it wasn't aired, and the next morning I saw it on my Twitter, and I was shocked. But then I watched the fight, and it was frustrating because it was like he had so much more left in him that he could do, but he didn't do it. Unfortunately, in boxing, Brendan used to say this: you can be too busy looking good, and not concentrate about winning the fight. And that's the sort of thing that I took away from that, is his posturing, his style. It looks great, but he wasn't doing enough to win the fight, and that's what caught up with him.
And finally, Dave, about 2.5 weeks away now, Wilder Fury 2. Just break it down for me. How do you see it playing out?
I'm confused because you can't write off Wilder.
Might just be the hunger, Dave.
It might be that. You can't write Wilder off. He can be losing every minute, every second of every round, and if he catches you, you're fucked. It's that hard. But what I'm confused about is Tyson's got rid of Ben Davison. Ben knows Tyson's style, the style that is Tyson Fury, the same style that absolutely got in Wilder's head, got in Vladimir Klitschko's head, and got in Wilder's head. He understands that style. You can talk him through it whenever Wilder's getting closer, and little adjustments he needs to do, little tricks he needs to do, nullifying. He's talking about going to war with Wilder. He's talking about going and looking to knock Wilder out. Is it a bluff? So Wilder's thinking, well, hang on a minute, because we're all expecting Wilder to come out this time and go for it this time, not to be as patient. Might just steady him up a little bit, that buys a little bit of time for Fury. Or is he really going to go to war with the single hardest puncher that's been in possibly in my time in boxing? If it is, I think it's crazy, because if you're fearful of the judges' scorecards, what you have to look at is apart from his 2 lapses of concentration, when he backed up into the corner, held his feet and got dropped in the first time, and then the last round when he should have been smart and just boxed his way through. He's winning the fight, box, pop, pop, pop. He started letting go a few bombs and just held his feet and just went a little bit slower, and then got nailed with that shot. If you take away those 2 laps of concentration, on the scorecards he would have won the fight. So the judges would have given him the fight if he hadn't have had those 2 knockdowns down. So all you have to do is to go out, repeat, prove that you can outbox Wilder, which you did the first time. So just go out and outbox him again, but don't switch off. If you don't switch off, those knockdowns didn't happen. If those knockdowns didn't happen, you still won on scorecards. So the scorecards would have been in your favour anyway. So don't go in there thinking about what the judges are how the judges are going to see it. Oh, they're not going to give him a decision. You can't do that, especially in a fight against a guy that can really punch. If he goes there toe to toe with somebody like Deontay Wilder, then I favour Wilder. I think you got to favour Wilder, because Wilder can get hurt. He's shown he's had a little wobble every so often, but he's never lost a fight yet. He's not been knocked out yet. He's not proved that he's chinny yet. People say, oh, he can't take a shot. He can take a shot. Just because you get hurt doesn't mean that you can't take a shot. So, does Fury hit hard enough to knock him out? I don't know. But if he's going there to knock him out, that means he's going to set his feet more. If he's setting his feet more, that means that he's in range more and he's going to be in distance for a longer amount of time than it was in the first fight, which gives Wilder an opportunity to land more shots than what he did in the first fight. If he lands more shots than what he did in the first fight, there's more chance of him knocking him out.
Well, David, we'll leave it there now, and I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your chocolate bar. I appreciate you hanging around. I'm sure I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks, Speech Boxing Social.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.